In the northern reaches of Tanzania, just beyond the bustling tourist trails, lies a quieter world. A world where the rhythms of life are still set by the rising sun, the whisper of the wind, and the call of wild animals. Here, in the dry savanna near Lake Eyasi, lives the Hadzabe, one of the last remaining hunter-gatherer tribes on Earth. For thousands of years, they have lived almost entirely off the land. No farms, no permanent houses, no written records. Their history is told through stories, songs, and the passing of skills from one generation to the next. In this journey, we'll step into their world, discover their traditions, and witness how they are adapting to a rapidly changing planet.
The sun rises slowly over the Yada Valley. Mist still hangs above the thorn trees as the Hadzabe men gather their bows and arrows. Their bodies are wrapped in animal skins, light enough to run, strong enough to protect. They move quietly, barefoot, their toes gripping the soft earth. The dogs circle them, excited and ready. No loud words are spoken. The hunters only whisper about the tracks they see, about where the baboons may hide, about the honey they might find on the way. For the Hadzabe, a hunt is not just survival. It is a rhythm with the land, a song carried in every silent step. Each arrow tells a story. It is not made quickly, nor is it made carelessly. Under the shade of a wide acacia tree, Hadzabe hunters sit together in a circle. The ground beneath them is worn smooth from years of use. This is the workshop of their ancestors. Around them, dogs rest lazily, and boys sit on their heels, watching closely with bright, serious eyes. The men begin with wood, straight branches carefully chosen from the bush. They cut them with sharp stone tools or with knives acquired through trade. The wood must be strong, but not too heavy, flexible enough to fly yet straight enough to pierce. With practiced hands, they scrape and smooth the shafts, shaving away imperfections, measuring each length with their eyes as if guided by instinct. Beside them burns a small fire. Its smoke rises gently into the afternoon air. One hunter takes a half-finished shaft and holds the tip over the glowing embers, turning it slowly, letting the heat harden the wood. The smell of smoke mixes with the scent of wild grass. Another hunter prepares the arrowhead. Some are crafted from iron, hammered into sharp points from pieces traded with neighboring tribes. Others are simpler, made of bone or sharpened wood. And then there are the deadliest, the poisoned arrows. A hunter kneels by a small pot made from clay. Inside is a dark, sticky resin collected from desert plants and poisonous beetles. He stirs it slowly with a stick, careful not to touch it with his skin. This poison is powerful. Even a scratch from a coated arrowhead can bring down a large animal. With quiet precision, he dips the sharpened tip of the arrow into the mixture, then lays it gently aside to dry. Nothing is rushed. Every arrow carries weight, purpose, and responsibility. Feathers are tied at the back, bound with sinew taken from animals hunted long before. The sinew dries hard, securing the feathers so the arrow will fly straight. Each feather is placed with care, aligned perfectly, because even the smallest mistake could mean the difference between striking prey or going hungry. The boys watch with unblinking eyes. One leans closer, asking a question in a soft voice. The elder beside him smiles and answers with patience, explaining why the poison must never touch the hands, why the feathers must face a certain way, why the shaft must be smooth as bone. This is not just work, it is teaching. Every movement of the hand is a lesson, every word a passing of knowledge from one generation to the next. The sun shifts slowly, shadows lengthen, but the hunters do not hurry. Arrow after arrow is shaped, hardened, tipped, and bound. A small pile grows at the center of the circle, each arrow gleaming in the light of the fire. They are not merely weapons. They are extensions of the hunters themselves, tools of survival, symbols of heritage, bridges between life and death, hunger and fullness. When the last arrow is finished, the men lean back, satisfied. The boys smile quietly, proud to have watched. Tomorrow, some of these arrows will fly into the savannah, loosed from the bows of men who trust their skill and their ancestors' teachings. For the Hadzabe, an arrow is more than sharpened wood and feather. It is patience, knowledge, and history. It is wisdom passed from elder to youth. It is one straight line between hunger and a full belly, between survival and loss. At first light, the world is still. The savannah breathes out a cool mist, rising from the earth like whispers of spirits greeting the new day. In the distance, guinea fowl stir and call, their chatter echoing through the tall grass. This is the hour of the Hadzabe hunters. Bare feet press gently into the damp soil. The hunters move together, shoulder to shoulder, silent and steady. Their steps are neither hurried nor careless. Each footfall is deliberate, toes flexing with the ground, gripping, balancing, listening. The earth speaks, and they listen. Across their shoulders lie bows, simple, curved wood bound with sinew. At their backs rest quivers filled with arrows, some sharpened to pierce, some dipped in dark poison for the larger beasts. Their cloaks, made from the skins of baboons and antelope, hang loose, brushing their legs as they move. The skins carry not only warmth but memory, the memory of hunts past, of victories, of survival. Beside them trot the dogs. Lean, scarred, and sharp-eyed, they weave through the bushes with ease. Their noses pressed to the ground, tails flicking, ears twitching. They know this path. They have walked it with hunters before and will walk it again. A soft bark signals fresh tracks, and one hunter crouches low, running his palm across the soil. The faint outline of hooves. Antelope. Not far. But the hunters do not rush. They know patience is sharper than speed. The sun rises higher, warming the backs of their necks. The forest opens to wide savanna, then narrows again to thorny scrub. Time stretches, but for the Hadzabe, time is not something to chase. They walk in rhythm with the land. Step, breathe, listen, step again. They speak little. When they do, their voices are soft, almost blending with the wind. One points toward the canopy above where monkeys chatter and shake branches. Another whispers about honey, the sweet prize hidden inside the hollow of a tree. Their words are not idle. Each sentence carries weight, hard instruction, hard strategy. Silence follows. Always silence. For silence is a hunter's greatest weapon. The trail bends, winding past termite mounds that stand tall like sentinels, past dry riverbeds cracked and pale. The hunters pause to drink from a small pool where water seeps slowly from the ground. They kneel, cupping it in their palms, letting the coolness wash over cracked lips. Then they rise again, bows firm in hand, eyes searching. Hours pass. The sun grows hot, pressing down upon their backs. Sweat beads on their brows but no one complains. This is the life they were born into. Their fathers walked these paths. Their grandfathers walked these same steps. Today, they follow. Tomorrow, their sons will do the same. Then it happens, the sound that changes everything. A dog darts forward, barking sharply. In the bush ahead, the crash of movement, baboons. The hunters quicken, still measured, but alert. Bows rise, arrows are drawn. Their bodies bend low, shadows moving through grass, silent as spirits. The dogs circle wide, driving the troop into confusion. A baboon breaks cover, darting toward a cluster of stones. The whistle of an arrow splits the air. A cry, sudden and short. The hunt is real. One hunter runs forward, crouching beneath the boulder where the wounded baboon lies. Its body is still. With practiced ease, he lifts it onto his back, the weight heavy but carried with pride. Another pats his shoulder, eyes meeting without words. Victory is not shouted, it is respected. The group regathers. Sweat runs down their foreheads, dust clings to their legs. Yet their eyes shine. The hunt is not finished, but this moment, this capture, is shared silently. A gift of the land, a promise of meat, a story for the evening fire. And so they walk on. Dogs trotting ahead,
Hunters side by side, the baboon slung across a back, its fur brushing against animal skins already worn by the men. Their silhouettes stretch long in the sun, blending into the land itself. The Hadzabe do not walk for distance. They walk for survival. They walk because the savannah feeds only those who respect its rhythm. Step, breathe, listen. The long walk continues.
Suddenly, a bark splits the stillness of the morning. Sharp, urgent, alive. The dogs have found something. The hunters freeze for only a breath. Their eyes sharpen, ears tilt toward the sound. Then, movement. Up ahead, a flurry of brown bodies scrambles through the trees. Baboons. Their cries pierce the canopy, branches shaking as they leap and scatter. The hunters break into motion. Feet slam against the cracked earth, sending puffs of dust spiraling upward. Their bodies lean low, like shadows sliding fast across the savanna floor. The bows rise, curved wood bending under the strength of hands that have known this motion since boyhood. Fingers find the string, pulling back slow at first, then strong, then still. A pause, a breath. The world narrows. An arrow slices forward, sharp, fast, whistling through the air with a sound that sings of skill and survival. A cry erupts. Then silence. One baboon tumbles, crashing from branch to branch before it disappears into the tall grass. Its movements falter, slow, then stop. Dust settles. The dogs circle it, barking, then quieting, tails wagging with excitement. One man steps forward from the group, his body lean, muscles tight with experience. Without a word, he plants his bare foot against the base of a tall tree. The bark bites into his skin, but he does not flinch. His hands search for the rough groove, and then, he climbs. Step by step, grip by grip, the tree sways with his weight, but his body moves like a dancer, steady, sure, balanced. Below, smoke curls upward. Women and boys keep burning grass alive in small bundles, waving the smoke toward the hive. The air fills with the acrid sting of it, and the buzzing above begins to thin. The bees, fierce in their defense, retreat in clouds, angry but unwilling to endure the choking haze. The man climbs higher, until his figure is just a shadow against the morning light. His chest glistens with sweat, his arms straining as he pulls himself onto a branch. There, in the hollow of the tree, the prize glows golden, honeycombs, heavy and dripping with sweetness. He reaches inside carefully, fingers daring where others might fear. The cones break free with a soft crack, honey streaming down his arm. He lowers one piece, then another, throwing them down to the ground where the children squeal and leap forward. The honey hits the dust with a soft thud, and small hands are already reaching. Sticky fingers plunge into the cones, tearing pieces apart, golden threads stretching and snapping. Children laugh, shoving pieces into their mouths, their lips shining, their eyes wide with delight. The women gather the larger cones, breaking them into gourds. They smear the honey across their palms, licking slowly, savoring the thick sweetness. For a moment, the whole camp is alive with sound, children shouting, dogs barking, women laughing, and bees still circling, confused by their loss. Above, the man remains steady in the tree. He pulls more cones free, careful not to lose balance. Bits of wax cling to his skin, bees buzzing stubbornly around his head. He does not panic. The Hadzabe know the bees, they respect them. A sting is just part of the price. Finally, with arms full of the forest's gift, he descends, his bare feet gripping bark as he slides down. When he lands, dust rises around him. He is breathing hard, sweat cutting lines through the dirt on his chest. Yet his face is calm, proud. The honey is not just food. It is fuel for the hunters before a long chase. It is medicine, mixed with herbs to heal wounds and soothe throats. It is tradition, a gift offered to elders first, as a blessing. And, above all, it is spirit, believed to come from the forest itself, given by unseen hands, reminders that the land provides for those who respect it. As the children lick their fingers and the elders chew the wax slowly, murmuring prayers of thanks, the golden liquid glistens in the sun. It runs down hands, chins, and arms, a sweetness that cannot be hidden. For the Hadzabe, honey is not just a taste on the tongue. It is life, it is joy, it is the forest speaking in sweetness. Scavenger birds circle above, waiting. But the men do not linger. They know the savannah wastes nothing, and time must not be wasted either. They rise together. The dogs lead again, tails high, noses already searching for the next scent. And so the hunters continue, feet pressing into the earth, their prize secured across a back, their hearts lifted by the knowledge that today, when the sun sets, the fire at camp will burn bright, and the people will eat. The hunt is not easy. It is never easy, but it is the way of life. And in this way, the Hadzabe endure. Each step is placed with the precision of generations, for noise is the enemy, and silence is the ally. The men weave through the thick brush like shadows, their bodies low, their eyes scanning every detail. A bent blade of grass speaks to them, a snapped twig whispers a story, and the faintest rustle in the wind could be the breath of their prey. They pause often, sinking to one knee, fingertips brushing the earth. A single footprint in the dust tells them more than words ever could. how fresh it is, which direction the animal traveled, whether it was running in fear or wandering at ease. They read the land like a sacred book, each page written in scents, sounds, and signs invisible to the untrained. Within seconds, they can sense how far the animal has gone and what might lie ahead. Their hearts beat steady, their breathing controlled, every muscle ready to spring, for in this ancient dance between hunter and hunted, patience is the sharpest weapon of all.
They hunt birds by dawn. Their bows are slender, made from acacia wood stripped and bent, strung with sinew. Arrows tipped with poison extracted from desert rose pierce the air with soft speed. In early morning light, they move beneath the canopy, looking for roosting guinea fowl or doves. One hunter halts at a rustling leaf above. A bird shifts. He raises the bow, then pulls tight. The arrow flies. The bird falls, silent and slow. He moves in with a soft step, plucks it from branches and knots the feet together with grass. The skin is removed carefully, feathers saved for decoration or trade, the breast meat set aside for later.
The morning sun stretches its arms across the Yaida Valley, painting the dry grass in shades of gold. Chaba, tall and lean, adjusts the animal skin tied across his shoulder. Beside him, a group of younger boys chatter softly, carrying small bows and bundles of arrows, their faces glowing with both excitement and responsibility. They walk barefoot, the earth warm under their soles, each step measured, each stride purposeful. The dogs run ahead, circling back, ears pricked, tails whipping light whips against the tall grass. Birds cry from above, their wings slicing through the open sky. The boys whisper to one another as they go. One points at the faint track of a gazelle, another laughs about honey they might find, while another simply hums, a tune carried on the wind. Chaba listens but does not speak much. His role is to guide, to steady their youthful energy with the weight of patience. He moves like a shadow, quiet, confident, always alert. The jungle swallows them slowly. First the tall grasses, then the scattered acacia trees, and finally the thick shadows of the woodland. The air grows cooler, the smell of damp soil mixing with dry dust. The boys' voices lower, as if the forest itself is listening. They know this land is alive, it hears, it sees, it remembers. Hours pass. They track signs, fresh droppings, broken branches, the call of alarm from birds warning of movement ahead. Sometimes they run, chasing after a rustle. Sometimes they wait, crouching low, listening to the heartbeat of the forest. Their laughter fades, replaced by whispers and the steady rhythm of breath. At last, their arrows fly. One strikes true. A baboon falls, another bird is taken, a small antelope too. Victory is not shouted, it is felt. They move quickly, lifting their catch onto shoulders, binding legs with strips of vine, balancing weight against their backs. Sweat glistens, muscles strain, but smiles flicker across faces, quiet pride in what they have achieved together. The return journey is different. The boys no longer chatter as much. Their loads are heavy, yet their spirits are light. Their steps are slower but full of strength. The dogs trot proudly at their heels, as if knowing they too share in the triumph. From the distance, smoke curls into the sky, the village fire. The women are waiting, pounding roots, tending flames, their eyes watching for the hunters. Children run first, their shouts piercing the calm. They are back. Chaba is back. On their way back, the boys slow down. The weight of the antelope across their shoulders presses heavy, but their eyes are still sharp, their spirits still restless. Chaba pauses suddenly, raising his hand. The dogs freeze, ears twitching, noses testing the air. On the ground, beneath the scattered leaves and dry dust, lies a pattern only hunters can read, a fresh footprint, deep and clear. To an untrained eye, it might look like nothing more than a smear of earth. But to Chaba, it speaks a language older than words. The toes are spread wide, the heel pressed firm. A baboon. Not far. The boys gather around him, crouching low. One of them whispers, "It passed here, today." Another points to a broken twig, the bark stripped by sharp teeth. Their voices are low, almost reverent, as if they are in the presence of a spirit. Chaba nods, his face calm, his finger tracing the track forward. They move slowly now, step by step, following the trail. Each mark in the dust is a sign, Here the baboon leapt, here it paused, here it dug at the earth. Above them, the trees echo faint cries, sharp, nervous. The hunters know they are close. The dogs whine softly, pulling at their leashes, eager to chase. Chaba silences them with a click of his tongue. Patience, always patience. He crouches again, brushing his hand across the soil. The print is fresher now, the edge is sharp, not yet dulled by wind. He lifts his head, scanning the trees ahead. The boys feel the air shift, heavy with the smell of wildness. Suddenly, a rustle. Branches shake. The hunters' eyes flash. The baboons are near, moving fast through the canopy, shadows against the sun. The boys' fingers tighten around their bows, arrows notched but not yet released. They know Chaba will give the signal. He whispers one word, wait. His voice is steady, calm as stone. He knows the forest rewards those who listen, not those who rush. The boys crouch lower, breathing slow, hearts thumping. The footprints guide them deeper, each step a thread pulling them closer to the hunt's climax. For them, this is more than meat. It is a lesson, a story etched into the dust by the feet of the baboons, read aloud by the patience of Chaba. The footprints lead them further into the thicket, the forest tightening its grip around them. Every sound grows louder, the buzz of flies, the snap of twigs under a lizard's weight, the rhythmic thump of their bare feet pressing the earth. Chaba keeps his hand raised, guiding them with quiet signals. A tilt of his head means, look left. A tap on the chest means, hold still. The dogs stiffen, their noses pull toward a cluster of rocks at the base of a fig tree. The air is heavy with scent, sharp, musky, unmistakable. The baboons are close. Then it happens. A sudden crack of branches, a spray of leaves, the baboons scatter. Their cries pierce the air, wild and angry, echoing across the trees. The boys spring into motion, feet pounding the ground, bodies low and swift. The dogs break forward, barking and growling, chasing the shadows that leap from branch to branch. Chaba is calm amid the chaos. He pulls an arrow from his quiver, its tip darkened with poison from the desert plant desmodium. He raises his bow, steady as stone, and releases. The arrow whistles, cutting the air, and strikes true. A baboon cries out, clutching its side, then tumbles from the branches, thudding against the ground. The boys rush forward, hearts racing. One of them bends low, checking beneath the rocks where the animal tried to crawl for safety. Its body lies still now, chest heaving, eyes fading. The dogs circle, snapping, but the hunters pull them back. Respect. Always respect. Chaba places his hand on the fallen creature. His breath is heavy, sweat streaking down his face, but his eyes burn bright. The forest has spoken, he murmurs, a phrase passed down from the elders. The boys gather around, their hands trembling with the thrill of the hunt. They speak in whispers, how fast it ran, how the dogs led the chase, how the arrow flew like lightning. For them, this is not just meat, it is proof of skill, of learning, of stepping into the footsteps of men before them. One boy lifts the baboon onto his back, the weight heavy but worn with pride. The animal's fur brushes against his shoulder, its blood warm against the skin. Another boy adjusts the ropes, tying it firm for the walk home. They grin, sharing quick glances, the kind of joy only hunters understand. The journey back begins. Dust clings to their feet, sweat beads across their brows, but their spirits are light. They laugh softly, teasing each other about who ran fastest, who nearly tripped, who shouted the loudest when the baboon fell. Even the dogs trot proudly, tails high, knowing they too have earned their share. As they walk, Chaba stays silent, his eyes on the horizon. He knows this hunt will be remembered, told again under the firelight when the meat is roasting and the elders nod with approval. For now, he lets the boys' laughter fill the path home, the forest around them alive with echoes of both the hunt and the promise of a feast. The walk home is slow but steady. The baboon's weight drags heavy on the boy's shoulders, yet he carries it with pride. His bare feet sink into the sandy soil with each step, leaving behind a trail that tells of victory. The dogs trot close, tongues lolling, ears alert for any movement in the undergrowth. The sun hangs low, spilling golden light across the savannah. Shadows stretch long, painting the boys taller than they are. They talk softly now, voices drifting like the evening wind. One laughs about how he slipped on a stone, another mimics the sound the baboon made when the arrow struck. Even in their joy, they carry respect, never mocking, only remembering. Chaba walks at the front. His eyes scan the land, but his face holds a quiet smile. He has led boys into the jungle, and he is bringing back hunters. Each hunt is a lesson, each step a test, and today they have passed. At last, the huts of the village come into view. Smoke curls from the fires already lit by the women. Children playing in the dust spot the hunters first. Their shouts rise like birds startled from trees. They return. They return. Mothers look up from their cooking. Men pause from their carving and repairs. Elders lift their heads beneath the shade of the baobab. The hunters step into the village circle, the baboon carried high. Cheers echo, hands clap, and laughter ripples. Chaba raises his hand, silencing the noise. He lowers the animal gently onto the ground. The forest has fed us, he says, voice steady. Tonight, we give thanks. An elder man steps forward, his back bent with age but his hands still strong. He kneels beside the baboon, whispering a blessing. His fingers trace the air above its body, honoring the spirit that gave its life so the people may eat. The villagers watch in silence, the crackle of fire the only sound. Then the work begins. The young hunters squat by the fire, knives flashing as they prepare the meat. The elder gathers dry twigs and grass, his hands practiced, his breath steady. He rubs sticks together, smoke curling upward, until a flame sparks. He leans close, blowing gently, coaxing the fire to life. The orange glow spreads, warmth touching their faces as the sun sinks behind the hills. The baboon is set upon sharpened sticks, roasting slowly over the flames. Fat drips, hissing as it meets the fire, sending up a rich, smoky scent that stirs hunger in every belly. Women bring tomatoes, wild herbs, and ground roots, mixing them into a pot with the meat. The stew thickens, bubbling, sending its fragrance through the air. Children press close, eyes wide with excitement, their small hands reaching before being gently pushed back. Wait, the women laugh. First, the elders, then the children. The hunters sit near the fire, their faces glowing in the flickering light. They speak in low tones about the chase, about the arrow that flew true, about the dogs that never failed. Their voices rise and fall like the rhythm of drums, weaving the story into memory. Finally, the stew is ready. No plates, no bowls. Food is shared in gourds and by hand. The elder takes the first bite, murmuring a blessing. Then children are fed, then the hunters, then all others. Laughter rises as meat is passed around, sticky fingers wiped on skins, and dogs lick the scraps at the edge of the circle. The firelight dances on every face, smoke curling into the night sky. The hunt has become a feast, and the feast has become a story, one that will be told again tomorrow, when new footprints are found in the dust, and the hunters rise once more to walk the land.
Thank you for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, please hit the like button and the bell notification icon.